The music news for the streets, the music news for your beats, the news for the music stuff that you gonna need. We gon' talk about plugins, we gon' talk about gear. If it's news on this music, we gon' talk about it here. Let's go.
What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Some. Hit the keys. Here today to talk about the super toxic behavior in the YouTube music production community. I know many of you guys seen Ben Jordan's past two videos. Basically, he did a demo for the Poly Play Plus. And then the next day he came back with another video saying that he was going to quit doing gear reviews because of all the toxic comments that he's been getting lately in a lot of his videos, especially that Poly Play Plus video. Basically, he did a review and they dropped the Poly Play last year. And this year they came out with a new version that has a bunch of synth engines in it and stuff like that. And they told all of the old buyers or purchasers of the Poly Play that they could basically upgrade their new version for like $400 so they could send off their old version and in return get a new version, which in my personal opinion, I don't see anything wrong with that. Just as somebody who's not even gonna get one of those. But look at everything else in life. Every single year, Toyota comes out with a new Altima, you know what I'm saying? And it barely has a few other features, but it's gonna cost more than the previous year's version. And if you were to trade in your previous year's version for a new year's version, it's already gonna have miles on it. You know, you're not gonna get the full refunded price for your old car. Or when you get your new iPhone every year or every other year, it's basically the same damn phone, but you trade it in and then you pay the difference. So I don't even see what the big uproar is about this topic, because basically it's as is everything else in life. You know, you pay for an upgrade. You're not going to be able to turn your old PlayStation 4 in for a PlayStation 5 and get the, you know, the new version for free. So I feel like a lot of people overreacted, but then that made me think a little bit more kind of about a lot of the behaviors and just the way that people are in this music production community. It's like super toxic. I'm not gonna hold y'all though. My community is pretty cool, so I appreciate all y'all. I don't get a lot of toxic hate mail. I don't get a lot of toxicity going on. But I do see a lot of stuff because obviously I'm a part of other communities as well. So like with Ben Jordan, I feel for him and I feel for all of us people who watch his channel, because I actually enjoy all his gear reviews. So I don't go out and buy all the gear that he says that, you know, is good or bad or whatever, but it's the content I enjoy watching. I understand that everybody who does a demonstration for a company isn't necessarily a shill. And that's what's frustrating from the perspective of somebody who does content, does plugin reviews, does gear reviews, does all that tutorial stuff, who does all that stuff. It's kind of frustrating because, in my opinion, I do think that the content creators should get paid for doing demonstrations and stuff like that, because you guys want quality demonstrations, right? So in order to do a quality demonstration on like a synthesizer, it's going to take the content creator days of his life to figure this out, read the manual, put together beats, put together stuff for the demonstration, make sure he's not looking like an idiot, obviously test drive whatever gear it is, because you're not going to be able to just crack open a synth and then in just one day, boom, bam, you figured this synth out. So it's like they're spending 4, 5, 6, 7 days just every single day putting in time on this synth to put out content for you guys so that you guys can get a good representation of this product. And I'm not saying a good representation for the company, just a good representation of everything that this product can do. So all of the different features of the synthesizer or plugin or whatever it is that they're reviewing, but they're trying to spend a lot of time with this so that they can give you guys the best representation that they can possibly give of this product. And again, it's not to sell the product, but it's for all the people who are watching the content who might potentially want to buy the content or buy the product, you know? So that's where I kind of, you know, it kind of always kind of frustrates me when I read through people's comment sections and I just see all this, oh, this guy's a shill, or he's shilling again for this company, or he's doing this again for this company, because that falls under the place for a lot of content creators in this space. a lot of content creators are going to want to do reviews on all the products because that's what we like to do. I like to play with music. Like, I've been doing music for years, and I'm not trying to make this just about me. I'm just trying to make this about a lot of the attitudes and the behaviors in the producer community. So I'm going to talk about more than just this review section. I'm going to talk about other things that people do in the comment sections or the way that people act that just is just not necessary, because it's like, if you're a new artist, if you're a new producer, if you're a new musician, and this is the first video that you stumble across, it's going to kind of be disappointing. Like, I used to do battle rap. There's more drama in the YouTube producer community than there was ever in battle rap. And in battle rap, and all you do is talk crap to each other. You know what I'm saying? And there is much more drama in this area than there is in other areas, which is wild to me. Now, I don't feel like everybody that does reviews are shills. Obviously, there's gonna be shills, and it is up to you to decipher whether you think that somebody's giving you good, honest information, or whether you think the person's lying and they're just shilling for the product. I mean, that's gonna be in every field, everything out there. There's always gonna be some bad apples, but there's always gonna be good apples as well. So again, I can't stress that it's up to you guys to decipher that. But in that same respect, it's not okay to get down in people's comment sections and start talking trash and start telling people to off themselves, or sending death threats, or telling people they don't know what they're talking about, or just all this other crap just because you may not agree with the things that they're saying. So I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, you know, everybody's got an asshole and everybody's got a mouth, so, you know, you're just gonna have to deal with their opinions. But look, man, I'm from a different generation, and I know a lot of the people who are doing a lot of these reviews and stuff like that are from an older generation. So it's like, I'm from the generation where we don't say no shit on the internet that we ain't gonna say to your face. So like, if I wouldn't say it to your face, I'm not gonna say that shit on the internet just because I'm protected by a screen. And that's kind of what's frustrating about this whole entire YouTube comment section. Like, I love the engagement, so I don't wanna make it seem like that. Again, I don't get a lot of hate comments, so I'm not gonna make this about me, but it's what I see, and what I see is frustrating is when I see a lot of people's comment sections where they're just getting attacked, and all they've done is just provided a good review or a good demonstration of a product. I will give some examples from things that I've seen in my comment section. So I've seen people genuinely argue in my comment section with my real life friends and real life people that know me. So I've seen people basically talk about, oh, well, you can't trust this dude because this dude said he'll only review stuff that he can work with. Yeah, I said something like that, but not in a sense of work with the company, meaning that if it's a plugin that I can work with, that I can fit into my workflow, that's like the terminology. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's another artist that I'm going to collaborate, that means I can work with them. Or if that means there's a piano plugin that I like and I can work with it in my in my project, then I can work with that. You know what I'm saying? If there's an effect that I can put on my guitar to make the guitar sound dope, that means that I can work with it. So a lot of times people take the things that you say out of context and then they try to apply them in the comment section and argue with other people and try to attack your character. Or like, look, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Y'all may judge me, y'all can talk trash if y'all want to. I don't necessarily delete a lot of comments. Now, there are people that I will hide from the channel because they only show up to make negative comments. I don't know if you guys realize this, but we can see like all the comments that you make on our channel. So there's been a couple of people that only show up to talk trash in the comment section. You know what, man? You don't necessarily need to be on the channel because I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I'm the type of YouTuber that wants to go back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? I talk a lot of shit in real life. So it's like when you get in the comment section and you start talking all that shit, I wanna get in there and I wanna go ham, but I can't because then all of a sudden you're a piece of crap, or, you know, people got freedom of speech. Everybody has freedom of speech until you decide to use your freedom of speech. And I think that's trash. Another thing that I think is super toxic, like in this space, is that right now, all these companies are giving out free plugins, right? And there's so many different people talking shit about the people giving away free products. So it's like you hear in the comment section, oh, well, they're only giving away a free product, so you go to their page and buy something. You know what you don't have to do? You don't have to go buy anything. You can just go pick up that free plugin and be thankful that they're giving you a free plugin that you might like. If you don't like the plugin, all you gotta do is skip on and keep it moving. And again, I don't get this in my channel a whole lot, but I do see content creators talking trash about this. And then I see people in their comment section talking trash as well. And it's like, if you don't want the free plugin, don't buy it. If you don't want it, or don't pick it up, don't go get it for free. If you don't want to buy anything from their website, don't buy it. They're literally just giving you a free gift. Or people complain in comment sections about, well, you got to give them an email address and now they're emailing you for the rest of your life. You know what you can do to get them not to email you anymore is just hit unsubscribe. If y'all need me to give you a tutorial on how to unsubscribe from emails that you don't want, I'll do it for you. And it'll be a quick tutorial, I promise you that. But things like that are just unnecessary. I do get certain frustrations that we have with free plugins, like, hey, I don't understand why sometimes companies are going to put iLok on their free products, because it's like, that's an extra step that y'all don't even have to take for something that we don't even like. But in that same regards, I'm not really going to complain too much about it, because if I really want the plugin and it's free, I'm going to go grab it like Fresh Air. I use Fresh Air on all my vocals. So yeah, I had to put iLok on there, but you know what? I use it all the time. iLok only took me 15, 20 seconds, and I just put it on there. No complaints. I just don't understand why we're complaining about free stuff at this point in time, or like developers need to learn how to do this so I can do this with the plugin and put it here. You know what? If they don't want to do that and they gave it to you for free, just take the plugin, man, or don't take it. It's free. It didn't cost you nothing. So then another thing that's super toxic about this whole entire space is, like, let's say we have two YouTubers that are beefing with each other or going at it with each other. We've all seen it. It happens all the time. Then we're going to have this third party entity come in and just start pouring gasoline on top of the flames. And then their whole entire community is going to come in and attack one person as well. And none of this stuff has anything to do with any of these people. So yes, I understand that, you know, if you put something on the internet, people are going to react, but it's not really your place to hop in and just pour more fire on the fuel. Or if you're a follower of a third party who's doing this, it's not really your responsibility to come to this other YouTuber's channel and attack them. Like, it happens all the time. So like, there's a situation, and I'm not even saying that these two have beef with each other, but there's a situation. Here's an example. So BusyWorks started doing, I guess, thumbnails that were similar to Navi, and he started to do similar topics, right? Okay, well, that's YouTube. And so like, all these people were making content and doing all this trash talking like, oh, well, you're copying him, or oh, you're copying him. But Navi's thumbnails weren't the first person to do thumbnails like that. Maybe in the music producer community, but they got that thumbnail idea from somewhere else. And then like the topics that he does, again, this is no shot at Navi. I rock with his content. I rock with Busy. I rock with all these dudes. And so like, he wasn't the first one making boom bap, you know what I'm saying, type beat tutorials or type beat tutorials. Type beat tutorials have been around for almost a decade now, for 6, 7, 8 years now. So anybody who's making any kind of type beat tutorials is just doing something that's already done. Anybody who's doing any kind of reviews is doing something that's already been done. Anybody that's doing any kind of cookups is doing something that's already been done. Anybody who's doing any kind of live stream is doing something that's already been done. Anybody that's doing any kind of reaction videos is doing something that's already been done. Anybody that's doing any kind of news videos is doing something that's already been done. Anybody who's making a beat channel is doing something that's already been done. So I just stressed all that because it's like, all this stuff has been done already, but it's just about how you put your swing on it, and how you put your voice, or how you put your personality, or how you put whatever into the content is why people are going to follow you or rock with the channel. So it's like, he literally got blasted by multiple YouTube channels, multiple people, for just doing what other people had already been doing, what Navi was already doing himself. You know, he'd already started doing type beat stuff because somebody else was doing the stuff on the channel. Yes, he may do it differently, but Busy wasn't doing it like him. Or if you look at like the AV and EA Ski issues that they have. I'm not trying to rehash nobody's beef either, because I'm not here for that. But you see all these different content creators hopped on that shit and started talking smack. Or if you look at like Dame Taylor probably has 20 videos on his channel basically clout chasing BusyWorks beats. And so it's like, you have all of these other YouTubers that instead of making creative content, and again, I'm not saying don't make type beats, don't do your reactions, don't do your news, I'm not saying not to do all that stuff, but instead of spending your energy tearing down other YouTubers who are basically doing the same thing that you're doing, why don't you put the energy and the effort into making original content? And then the same thing for all the subscribers of these channels. So just because somebody makes a video about one YouTuber, there's no need for you to hop into this YouTuber's freaking comment section 150 deep and just go hard. Like, look at another instance was look at Av and the whole koala sampler thing, right? So y'all already know, what time it is. And so it's like, all this dude did was make a video talking about giving them props. He just didn't know how to use it. And it wasn't a review. He says NPC user uses koala sampler for the first time. And that was the content. And in return, the whole koala community went ham on him. He made a response video. And then, the stuff just hit the fan from there. But as the content creator, it's not fair for you to respond to a bunch of negativity that you get. Like there's going to be people who are going to say, well, you got to have thick skin if you're going to do content creation and this and that. But celebrities even tell you it's the one comment that gets to you. So if even celebrities who are at the top of the music game or at the top of the whatever game it is that they're doing are telling you it's the negative comments that get them too, it's the 1, 2, or 3 negative comments that get them, then why would you expect a YouTuber to be any different? And then when it's a whole bunch of people attacking you, coming to your comment section, making posts about you, doing all a bunch of stuff, why do we always have to be quiet? Why are we always the ones that are in the wrong when we react? That's what I just don't understand either. And that's what makes the community just toxic, in my opinion, as well, is because they expect for the content creators just to be sitting ducks for you to talk all the shit that you want to talk. And then they just got to take it, like, and put a smile on their face and make a video for you tomorrow. That's just, another thing that's wild to me about this community is just people's willingness to tell you that they crack plugins. So they'll get on your post, your feed, they'll get in your comment section, and they'll just tell you, hey, when's the next crack come out for whatever it is, FL Studio, or I'm just gonna wait for the Arturia collection to get cracked, or I got this cracked plugin already, I would never pay for the plugin, or so on and so forth. Like, that's wild to me that people just feel comfortable getting into your comment section and telling you, man, I'm just gonna steal some shit. You know what I'm saying? Forget paying for it. I'm just gonna steal it and I'm gonna brag about stealing it, when that's like nasty ass behavior, And then there's like a whole group of people who believe that people who crack plugins weren't gonna pay for the plugins anyway, so the companies shouldn't even worry about them or focus on them. That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like that thought process is crazy, and it doesn't work anywhere else except for like in this YouTube world where people get to create their own opinions and then voice these crazy ass opinions out behind a camera and expect for that shit to hold water. There is no other industry where it would be okay for people just to consistently steal stuff, and we weren't gonna be able to sell them that Lexus anyway, so it's okay that they just stole it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go to McDonald's, Burger King, and just steal a burger. Well, we wouldn't gonna be able to sell them that quarter pounder with cheese anyway, so might as well just let them have it. I mean, that doesn't hold water anywhere else in the whole entire world, but we try to make that hold water in this like technology realm when people don't want to pay the people that make these products, but they want to use. And then like the same people that want to just get cracks and steal these cracked plugins or cracked whatever it is, they want to use the plugins to make money. So they want to use the plugins to sell beats or to make songs or to do all this stuff, but they don't want to pay the person that's provided them with the sound for them to be able to sell beats and stuff like that. That's wild to me. It's like absolutely absurd that there's an actual side of this community that will defend people using cracked plugins. Just pay for the plugin or get something free. There's a ton of free plugins out there. There's no need to steal from the developers. Like, the developers, a lot of developers are struggling as it is, or they're like a 1 or 2 man team or a 3 or 4 man team or whatever it is, or they got to pay a bunch of people. So it's like you want them to keep developing plugins, but you don't want them to pay for the plugins. You just want to wait for the cracks to come out and that's not okay. And then like there's another part of this community who gets mad and say that companies aren't legit if they don't offer demos. Well, you know, a lot of the reason why companies don't offer demos is because that's how their plugins get cracked. And then they go back to, well, I mean, people who, you know, get cracked plugins weren't going to buy the plugins anyway. That doesn't make it okay. If they weren't going to buy the plugins, then they shouldn't have the plugins. You know, I mean, that's at the end of the day, I don't understand how we get to this point to where we start skewing stuff and we start trying to make things okay for people to do illegally, but we take stands on other things like illegally, like we'll take a stand on this person has to disclose this or they have to do this. But when it comes to like crack plugins and crack stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's all right, we'll just look the other way. So another thing that's hella toxic is like people's behavior. Like if somebody doesn't agree with the things that you do, like I've firsthand witnessed this. They will send letters to companies that you work with and think that it's okay to try to get the company that you work with to stop working with you. So as we see here, I do owe somebody an apology because I thought that this letter was sent from this girl who had been stalking me. It was not. It was sent from a subscriber, and this person was a member of the channel. I know who this person is. I know this is their spam email address or their burner account. So as you see here, it's Alphatron Official. Again, I know who this person is. This person used to be somebody who was in every single live stream, every single day. This is just their burner account. And this is basically, I've read this letter before, but I'll read it again in case you've missed it. And this isn't the first time that somebody has sent over a letter like this to a company. I'll read the letter and then I'll go on a little further. So it basically says, hi, I know this might be a random email, but I've been a little bit concerned about one of the people who advertises for you in the last few weeks. I would like to remain anonymous in this situation for fear of being ridiculed and harassed in real life. I don't want to cancel anybody or tell you guys not to do business with someone since that is your choice of who you deal with. That's up to you. I would also appreciate if this contact form wasn't mentioned because I have worded my concerns to the creator directly. Guess what, bitch? I got the contact form. I have worded my concerns to the creator directly and would like to avoid any negative interactions and harassments from him. The creator I'm talking about is SumnSumnSumnHTK. I know he is a creator and can act any way he wants on his platform, but seeing him act this way just makes me concerned for who sees his contact and associates with actions with you. Here's some links to some of the live streams that made me concerned for his health and his status as a creator with your company. It doesn't seem professional. I know it's his choice. He has the freedom to do what he wants, but he's been drinking out on multiple streams, public intoxication, and yelling at religious groups. Even if they seem like extremists, it doesn't sit right with me. It just makes me feel like you'll work with people who set a bad example for young producers. Again, I'm not advocating to cancel him or have a vendetta out, because if that was the case, I would just easily post all this to social media and start a campaign with this. I'm both concerned for the creator's health and potential young music makers running into this and seeing it as okay behavior, especially when he addresses women as bitches and objectifies constantly on his streams. That sets a very bad example since his channel is not age restricted. And then they link some of the links of some live streams. Now, again, I know who this person is. I know who you are, fam. And so what's jacked up is like the way that they make this seem is like that I'm just objectifying women out here when I'm not. If you guys follow the channel, I go hard as hell against like the red pill community and stuff like that. Because I joke around sometimes doesn't mean like I don't like women. I love y'all. If y'all watching, you know? So it's not like I'm out here objectifying women. It's not like I've ever told dudes to be out here stroking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women at the same time. I'm not even a cheater. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't even cheat. I didn't cheat on my wife. I didn't cheat on, I had a never long relationship for 7 years. I know I don't have to say all this stuff, but that behavior is not indicative of what I would do. And then like when we're talking about this extremist group, that's another reason why I know it's him, because nobody else would complain about this when on that live stream. They're basically at NAMM. Again, that's why I know who it is. But we're at NAMM and they're just sitting outside of NAMM going hard, telling everybody going inside NAMM that they're the devil and all this other stuff. So it's like I was talking shit to the group, like I don't think that God would want you out here harassing people. My God isn't the same God as your God. You know, so it wasn't like I was cussing out this extreme group or whatever. So I know I don't have to explain all this, but I bring this up because the same company, well, not same company, because multiple companies sent me this letter. So this wasn't something that I just got from one company. Like multiple companies sent me this letter. This is toxic behavior. Because you have a disagreement or you're mad at a content creator, it's not okay for you to become a Karen and start taking on the I want to talk to your manager routine to try to get somebody to cancel them. Because as he says, I don't want to cancel them. Well, that's literally what this letter is for. Because if you didn't want to, you would just mind your business and stop watching my content. But you didn't mind your business and stop watching my content. You basically wrote a letter to one of the companies multiple companies that I work with. And then the company told me that they get letters like this all the time. And that when this company that I'm showing you it from, they told me that they just thought it was spam because they get messages like this all the time from people that they work with. So they just thought it was just some crazy person sending spam over. But then when I made a video about how I had been getting all these messages on YouTube and this girl was emailing all these people on my families, so I thought that this was coming from them when ultimately it wasn't, because I know that email address. Again, that person had been it's somebody's burner account who was in my streams all the time. So that Alphatron only came around when one person was in the stream. One person is consistently in every stream that's in. So I know, again, I've talked about that before, but that's just more toxic behavior that goes on in this community. It's like people don't want you to do what you want to do, so they try to cancel you. People don't like your review. They think that you're a shill, so they talk smack about you in the comment section. It's like, instead of being a piece of shit and getting in people's comment sections and being a piece of shit, why don't you just try to be a decent human? If you don't like the content that you're watching, it's easy just to click off of it and move on to the next video. Like a lot of times when you guys come at one content creator, you have no idea what's going on with this content creator. So like, again, one bad comment for a celebrity can mess up a whole celebrity's day. So just think about, if you're not in a good mental space, if you're dealing with mental health right now and you're going at it with somebody else, and now all of a sudden this third-party content creator has created content and now 150 of his minions have come to your freaking comment section and blown up your comment section, that's not going to be good for nobody's mental health. And again, you don't know, just because people are putting on a smile on this camera, you don't know what's going on with them behind closed doors. You don't know what issues that they're having. You just don't know what's going on with them. So it's not always for anybody's benefit to talk shit about somebody who isn't talking no shit to you. You don't got no life. Like, there's a smaller majority of people who are on the internet that are trolls than are trolls. Just like the red pill community. The red pill community will make you believe that all guys feel this way. But that's a small minority of guys, because they're trying to speak for high value guys, or the top 5%, 1%, 10%. Well, 90% of the dudes aren't even trying to aspire to be that, or 90% of the dudes aren't that. So you can't be speaking for the majority when the majority isn't the dudes that you're speaking for. And so the same thing goes with this. And I guess to tie that together, I mean it like this. That community will say, well, look at our numbers. Well, okay, you may get 500,000 views on a hate video, but there's billions of people who don't even care about your video, not paying attention to it. The same thing applies to this community. Like, there's going to be a troll here and there, maybe 4 or 5 trolls on some people's videos, 10, 15, 20, but the majority of people aren't trolls. And so it's easier, based off of everybody's, the way that everybody else acts in society, it's easier to not be a troll than it is to be a troll. So it's like, sometimes I just don't understand the behavior, because again, y'all ain't saying that shit to nobody's face. I ain't never seen nobody talk the way trolls talk to somebody's face. So I know I talked forever on this video. I was only going to talk in this thing for like 5-10 minutes. I don't know how the edit's going to go. I'm going to try to edit down and make it not as long as it is, because this thing's kind of long. But make sure, if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.